Okay, before we assemble the cylinder head, we need to measure the valve guide clearance. And so the way to do that is we've got these telescoping gauges right here. And so if you loosen them, you see those two little things come out. So what we're going to do is we're going to compress them all the way. And to tighten them, you're just screwing on the end of this edge here, tightening them up. And see that leaves them compressed inside here. So then we put them down inside the valve guide. And we loosen it up so they expand out. Once they've expanded out, then we're going to tighten it. And then we gently move it out. And then we can take a micrometer and measure the edge of the gauge. So let me hold this and CJ can run it in. And that'll give us the inside depth or the inside width of the valve guide. So what we're doing is we're measuring for taper.
Is it squeezing on us? Oh, it is.
It is, yeah. And so, like I say, we're going to go through the measuring part of it in a later video. I just wanted you to see the process. And so that's what these depth gauge or these inside diameter gauges are. These bore gauge, they're not really bore gauges. These are
small hole gauges.
Yeah, hole gauges. So you want to measure it at the top, and then you also want to go down a little bit deeper into the valve guide and do the same thing, do the same measurement. If you go a little bit deeper and you can't pull it all the way out, then that means that the valve guide is tapered as it goes down. And that's usually a cause for the valve guide to be replaced. So this one here seems to be okay. Comes right out, and then we would measure that to make sure it's the same. Then the last measurement we do on this is the valve that actually goes in there. We would measure it with a micrometer and measure the valve stem thickness. So we'd measure the valve stem thickness here, up here on the top, and then also down here on towards the bottom. And those are the measurements that you would make on the cylinder head before you assemble the valves.
The case, but nothing else.
It's true. On this cylinder head, there's not a sealing surface that goes onto the engine itself. It has a little gasket that goes inside here on the top of the barrel, right there. And so on this one here, all you're doing is you're inspecting to see if there's any cracks or any damage inside here. There you go. So that's what it seals the cylinder with, is right there. So on these, what a common failure on these is where you'd develop a small little crack that goes in between the valves on either one of the cylinders, or you could have a crack that comes off from the spark plug. And so that's what you would normally do. Now this is done with a Magnaflux machine, which we do not have here at the college. That's something that you probably have done at a machine shop, is you take the machine in, or the cylinder head in to have it machined and Magnafluxed. So if you go over to the spark engine video, I'll show you how to do a cylinder head warpage test in that video.